Then most recently, you said you kind of went to the director role. Um, how was that transition from being like a development manager to a director?
Uh, it's not actually as big a difference as going from developer to manager, I think. So, now that I've had sort of like enough years away from code to try not to take on something, on a critical path where and be the bottleneck. But I found that from developer to manager, there are things that come across your desk and issues, and you're like, I know how to fix that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, well, I can't because I've got a gazillion other things to do, and I'm going to block somebody from, or this thing's going to take forever. But management is so much about multitasking. You're never focused on one thing for very long. Well, you know that. So
Yeah.
you get a gazillion Slack messages a day, and it's all about different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a director takes that multitasking to yet, I think, another level. And what you don't you what you're not able to do, I think, as a director, is to focus solely on one part of the product, and on one team, and that team is going to deliver feature X. You kind of have to manage. I think the biggest difference is, you're also managing managers versus managing just a team, and a team that you want to work together. Managing managers is they're all from disparate teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of, the way that you empower as a team, as a dev manager, now you have to kind of do that with all the managers and their teams. And how you do that is different for each team and each manager, because they all have their different styles. And I think the other thing is you're probably expected to be a little bit more involved in the business side of things, right? You view the product as a whole, like I said, versus like one part of a whole when you're a dev manager. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a little bit.
That's it's interesting to draw that parallel between moving from a developer to a manager and then manager to. Do you like? Well, for me, when I moved outside of development, I found it challenging not being like in control of the product or like the development. And do you kind of find that same kind of gap when you went from like a development manager to a director? And how do you deal with that?
I think you probably get maybe a little bit more say actually in shaping the product. um you know uh you're just not as involved in the uh maybe day to day, um with 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 the team. But with the product, I actually think that you're a little bit more involved in just different parts of the product. You have no choice but to be. um, that's why I'm saying, like, as a dev manager, you have the luxury of focusing only on the things that you
Yeah.
need to deliver. Yeah.